Hello, I'm Keelan.
And I'm Dorisa, and we are Key
Key
Destiny
Destiny
Unlimited
Unlimited
Abroad.
Abroad.
On this channel, we talk to you not just about moving abroad, but staying abroad. And in our last video, we talked about why we chose Thailand as the place where we were going to be moving. So today, we're going to get a little more precise and we're going to tell you why we chose Chiang Mai. And so, going to be looking down, got notes so we don't get off track. So, here we go. So, basically, the first big issue that we're going to talk about is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't choose Chiang Mai, and that is due to burning season. So, burning season is a time, it generally happens. It can go anywhere from like March through May, with a couple weeks difference on either side of those. And it is where a lot of the farmers will use a traditional method of burning crops. So instead of like doing other things in their fields that can be a significant financial investment, they do a more traditional method of burning the crops, and that causes a lot of air pollution. And so that is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't choose Chiang Mai. And so we're going to tell you why burning season was not an issue for us.
Yeah. And some of the decision is it's a short period of the year. And so we weren't going to necessarily let that be a deciding factor in where we chose to live. Um, we spent a couple years in South Korea, and they had where we were in South Korea, they had a lot of air pollution that was due to yellow dust coming over from their neighbors and also some of the industries going on in Korea. And there would be days that we would have to take precautions, and so uh, and that could happen year round. Um, their winters were kind of worse, but it could happen during the summertime also.
Absolutely. So navigating around air pollution was something that we definitely got familiar with. There's apps that you can use that can tell you what the air quality is or is going to be the next day, and it'll caution you on, is it okay? Should you be outside with a mask? Should you try to stay indoors? And so we learned how to navigate around um, air pollution, and that was air pollution that could happen at any time. So having a specific window is actually going into a little bit
Yeah.
of an easier situation. And also, our home that's being built, it is having very robust air filtration systems.
Air purification and
Yeah. So that was factored into our home build. The other thing is that the company that we have, we do some traveling with that as we go and visit various universities around the world, and so we can choose to plan our travel. Some of our travel around that time. So if we feel like the air pollution is a little bit too much, then we can always plan to visit some of those other places where the weather won't be terrible
right.
necessarily. And so, actually, a lot of locals plan their travel who live in Chiang Mai. They plan their travel around that time as well. So it's kind of the travel season. If we feel like the air pollution is a lot. And the other thing is just that we know that again there's no perfect place, but the government has been working with their farming industry, and they're really working towards finding um, a, a a sweet spot that will allow people to respect their traditional customs, but also try to lessen the impact that it has around the region. But while we're waiting on that to happen, there are a bunch of beautiful places, even in Thailand, that we can go
All
visit
right.
during our time.
Yes, as we were saying, we were looking at a lot of beautiful places that we could go travel during the burning season. And so now we want to talk a little bit about why we chose Chiang Mai and and what other places that we were actually looking at. So We had kind of narrowed down our search based on uh, internet, what we saw on the internet between Hua Hin and Chiang Mai.
Yeah, and like basically, what we found was like Hua Hin is in a beautiful space. You have a lot of retirees there, and it is often people really like it due to its proximity to Bangkok without being in Bangkok. Um,
Yeah, from what we had kind of researched, Hua Hin is probably about 3 hours or so from Bangkok itself. And so, one of the things that we were also considering is uh, since we would be doing some traveling, how close the airport would actually be to us.
Absolutely. And so one of the things that really drew us to Chiang Mai as opposed to Hue Hin was that Chiang Mai, it really has all the benefits of a major city, but it has the addition of a slower pace of life. And so what do we mean by that? Chiang Mai has major hospitals, has an
Mm.
international airport. They're actually building a second airport, but right now it has an amazing international airport with direct flights to a lot of various countries that are on our list to go visit. So that was really good. And the home that we're having built is within a 20-minute drive to the
Yeah,
airport, as opposed to if we were in Hue Hin, we would have to like fly to Bangkok, to
or get a ride up to
right.
Bangkok 3 hours or
Right. So that would add a significant amount to our travel time, so we wouldn't have to contend with that. So and then, like I said, healthcare. You have amazing hospitals in Chiang Mai that we will be again in close proximity to there, and it also had that balance of we will be able to live there, right? So do all the things that we need to do. Check-ins for our, for any visa that you're on, you have to do 90-day check-ins, and so having an immigration office, and with the visa that we have, we don't have to do the check-ins ourselves. We can just drop our passports off, and they will, do the thing, do the check-ins for us. And there is a space for us to do that right in Chiang Mai. And so like it has so
yeah,
many.
yeah. Chiang Mai offered us a lot of the conveniences that we would be looking for, particularly for us. We've uh, lived in large cities before. We lived in smaller cities, and so I think our comfort zone and the lifestyle that we wanted uh, was that smaller city where we would have the ability to go out and do the cultural things that we wanted, but also uh, do the more American things that we're accustomed to, like going to the malls, going shopping.
Yeah, great. They have great malls in Chiang Mai, a lot of great malls in Chiang Mai, and so it really is one of those things where it functions as a large city, um, but not an international large city. So Bangkok is an international large city where there's a lot of people everywhere, and the traffic is very different, and that sort of stuff. So, whereas with Chiang Mai, you have all these comforts that you would normally find in Bangkok, but it's going to take you like your. I think we were all over Chiang Mai when we were there. We were house hunting, and no place is more than an hour away from any other place you want to be. And for us, that's good. We currently live in a major metro area, and traffic is a big deal. Um, when I before I had transitioned full time to our company, I had another job, and my commute was 4 hours a day. In the morning, it would take me 1 hour. In the afternoons, when I was on my way home, it would take 3 hours, and all of that was because of traffic. We used to live. We've lived in
Yeah.
a metro area,
Right.
and the
Yeah.
commutes
Yeah.
were
Yeah. We've lived in an area that was a smaller metro area, probably total about 500,000 people in that metro area, and the commute we could get anywhere we wanted in 20 minutes. So the traffic consideration is kind of what you're accustomed to. So uh, for us, when some of the locals say, "Oh, traffic is so bad," it may not be that bad for us because we're like,
If it takes less than 3 hours, there's no traffic.
right,
And so when you're thinking about what places will be right for you, when people talk about traffic, you always have to look at it into consideration with what you're used to, because there are people who go, Chiang Mai's traffic is really bad. But you know, if they're used to like the town that we have been in before, where everything is 20 minutes away, the traffic does look really bad. But for me, who had a 3 hour commute one way home from work, it's nothing. And so that is definitely something to take in consideration. So when you're watching people's videos and you're watching them talk about the areas that they're in and their experiences with those areas, definitely take that personal experience and personal comfort level into consideration. And so Chiang Mai absolutely has traffic, especially when you get on the major highways. But depending on the type of area that you're coming from, if you're coming from a metro area or a more populated area, it's not going to feel that bad. It may feel like a relief. Whereas if you're coming from an area where you can get anywhere within 30 minutes, it's going to feel like there's a lot of traffic. So our advice is, if you plan on being in Chiang Mai, fly into Bangkok first. Spend a couple days in Bangkok traffic, and then when you get to Chiang Mai, you'll go, this traffic isn't so bad. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where if you want a lot of conveniences, if you want a lot of things around you, those things come with population density. So you're not gonna have 4 or 5 hospitals if you have a smaller population.
right.
So you know, there it's going to be an ebb and flow, which is why we did want a city that had some size to it, but a little bit of a more relaxed atmosphere than you would find in such an international city like you find in Bangkok.
So we wanted to kind of go through our checklist of things that we were looking for as we started planning and making this move. We have about 6 items that were on our list. One was having an international airport. Two was looking at the culture that the area had to offer.
Yeah. Hmm.
Three was food, and four was medical. Our fifth one was live, work, and play, and our sixth one was.
The multi generational aspect.
And so we'll kind of step through each one of those. So first, as we kind of alluded to earlier, Chiang Mai, they have an international airport, and when we went to visit them back in January, uh, they, we got word that they were in the process of planning and building a second international airport.
Yeah, but the Chiang Mai airport is, it's beautiful, it's great, it's high functioning. You can get in. Almost every airline that flies in Thailand has flights in and out of Chiang Mai. So the parking situation is really good, and so it definitely functions as a truly international airport. And we could live within a reasonable distance to the airport.
And if there was not a direct flight from Chiang Mai to anywhere that you wanted to go in the region. The flight to Bangkok was less than an hour and a half from Chiang Mai, and the fares were extremely reasonable.
Absolutely. So it checked that box of being near international airport. And so the second was culture. And I will. I know we've talked about this in other videos. We will continue to talk about it. Chiang Mai is in the Lana region, and the being, you know, in that Lana region, that still has a, you know, a heavy Lana population. The culture is absolutely phenomenal. A lot of people fall in love with Thailand, and in Chiang Mai, you have all of the things culturally that people love about Thailand, it in general, with the additional deep culture of the Lana people as well. So there's so much to learn. There's so many things for us to do and grow and truly get immersed in everything that the primary culture of Thailand has to offer, in addition to the perk of also being able to learn about and be immersed in Lana culture as well.
And along the lines of the culture, uh, Buddhism is very big in Thailand. We're not Buddhists, but their history and the aspect of mental wellness and uh, relaxation, it appeals to us. And so just being able to uh, walk the temple grounds and kind of take a moment to reflect and be at peace and kind of do self reflection, that was kind of appealing to us and kind of slowing down from our everyday hustle and
Chaos,
bustle.
chaos, chaos. The whole rat race of it all. You just, while you're there, especially in the temples, you just kind of, it melts away. And that's another thing that's beautiful about the culture, is that everyone is welcome in the temples, and so there's so many different temples to not just explore from a tourist aspect, but to experience holistically. And we're excited to have an opportunity to do that.
And then in Chiang Mai, there's also the old city where they still have the original walls surrounding the city and just uh, when you go to the city, you can get out and walk the streets and experience the locals, a lot of local shops. And it is a big tourist area, so it can get kind of crowded, but that's something Chiang Mai had to offer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And kind of like a continuation of the culture is the food.
Yeah, yeah. And
It is good, y'all.
and when we were on our last visit, we took a cooking class, and so yeah, had fresh ingredients and cooking over a open wok, and so, some of the things about Thailand is they have traditional kitchens,
Yes,
and so in our house we have a traditional kitchen and then a Western kitchen, and so uh, being able to learn some of those aspects of the traditional Thai cooking and being able to implement that, that was one of the things that appealed to us also.
absolutely. And Chiang Mai has, because again, it's still a major city in Thailand, so it has everything else that you can think of as well. So everything from, yes, traditional Thai food, but all the way through. We had amazing Italian food. We had amazing American type of, like, there's so many things to explore. So the food culture is phenomenal, and that checked the box for us.
Yeah, because it's truly becoming an international city, and
Absolutely.
so you got a lot of flavors of coming in from around the world.
Absolutely. The next is medical. One of the We mentioned that they have major hospitals in Chiang Mai. Some of the same hospitals they have, hospitals you'll find in Bangkok. They have some of those regional affiliates in Chiang Mai. They also have clinics. But Chiang Mai is also really big on holistic medicine and wellness. And so that's really something that truly appealed to us as we go. We're middle age right now. We plan on being there all the way through. And so they really are dedicated to wellness and having a lifestyle around wellness, and looking at traditional as well as modern medicine fused together. And so that's something that was really appealing as well. So being in a space that is dedicated to not only keeping you healthy but keeping you well. And it was, yes, you have the health checks and all of those other things, but it's also about, how do you have a healthy lifestyle? How do you eat a balanced diet? How do you exercise? Meditation, massage, like all of those things. That is kind of the health focus in that entire kind of Lana region, and you can definitely see it in Chiang Mai, our where our house is being built, the project that our house is in.
it has its own wellness center, and so it has uh, a sauna that's going to be there. It has a place for meditation.
Meditation.
It also has a nurse on staff in case there's a medical emergency that occurs. And
And every house has a pool too, so you have like your you we have been taking I Chi, and so we'll be able to continue I Chi and all of those sort of things kind of like embedded into it. So it's a wellness focus even in the community that we're going to be living in.
and you had mentioned massages in Thailand. Uh, Thai massages is actually kind of part of the culture where everybody can afford to get a massage, and whereas uh, we as Westerners, massages become like a luxury.
Is definitely a luxury that you can only afford on special occasions every once in a while, whereas it's just a part of how you live your life in Thailand, and definitely a big part of how you live your life in Chiang Mai. Everybody gets them. It's not something that's special just for. I won't say it's not something special. It's definitely they're definitely special, but they're not secluded and they're not set apart for only certain parts of the population. They are accessible to everyone, and that was really important. So we really love that.
Yeah, and then as far as medical, Dorisa, she had always talked about going to Thailand for her 50th birthday to do a full medical exam. And so having those options available to really figure out how the body as a whole is doing, that was one of the things that attracted us to East Asian medical systems.
Absolutely. So had it in Korea when I was 50, but I'll be getting my medical check and reporting to you all about it very not too long after I'm in Thailand as well. So now we're going to go into the what we call live work play. And so when it comes to live work play, what we mean by that is Chiang Mai it had everything so that we can actually live there. So it wasn't just as a tourist, but living real life. So it has government facilities. When you have to do work with immigration, you are able to get any sort of documents that you need. They're used to dealing with foreigners, so you have a lot of people when it's time for you to do business. You have a lot of English speaking opportunities that are kind of built into the fabric of how people are doing work and how living. So we will be able to actually live there and not just experience it as a tourist, but experience it as people who are living there full time.
And us as U.S. citizens, there's a consulate there in Chiang Mai, yeah, along
Big
with
deal.
along with the embassy in Bangkok.
Bangkok. Yep, absolutely. And then also we've told you that we have young adult children, and so it was that they are able to navigate the space as well. Working, high speed internet access. They have a ton of um, co-working
Mhm.
spaces. If I don't want to be working at the house, there's co-working spaces everywhere. The high speed internet access is amazing. So you can work from Chiang Mai. A lot of people work from Chiang Mai, and then play. Chiang Mai has a very big tourist population as well. So like there's tons of stuff to do because even though we're going to be living there, we still want want to do touristy things. Like you don't have to not do touristy things just because you live in a place. We do touristy things around our area right now because it's a major area, and so you also have that aspect of there is never a lack of things to do. So
And they have lots of festivals,
yeah,
which is part of the culture. Plus, the fun part of living in different different spaces.
100%. And that last area was multi generational. And what we mean by multi generational is like Chiang Mai, because it is a major city, it works for all different types of people. We know some places they'll say if you're a retiree, go here. If you have a family, go there. If you're a college student, go there. Well, Chiang Mai is for multi generational. It's for everyone, and we have young adult children. We my mother will be coming to visit. I'm sure your parents will be coming to
Mm-hmm.
visit as well. Our siblings will be coming to visit. Like we're going to have multi generational people um, that's coming and going as visitors. We're going to try to convince some folks to move there,
Mm-hmm.
but Chiang Mai works for everyone. It's not as overwhelming to the senses as Bangkok, but it's also not so purely for retirees that our young adult children will be like, yeah, no, we won't be coming. And so that it felt like a really good balance for us multi generationally
Yeah.
as well. And so we really hope that these things, this sort of conversation is helpful to folks as you get to see a part of what went into our decision making when it came to our choice of Chiang Mai as the place where we're going to be settling. Please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And if you have made some decisions about where you want to stay, definitely tell us about it in the comments. We would love to hear it. But until next time, bye
Word.
bye.